this live is about 50% of Black women have lost their minds. That's number one. That's the topic. Number one, the first line is Black women. I saw Black women lusting after a homeless man. I'm talking about hundreds of them. Number two, I saw a video of a Black woman with her baby daddy who was broke and a bum, who was driving her car. She was questioning him about stealing her and selling her EBT card, and now she didn't have any money to pay for food for her child and herself. And he told her that he got some money for it, and he had $120 left. And what did he say? And he wasn't gonna give it to her. He asked her. He told her he'll just buy her the corn because isn't what she wanted corn, which is crazy. Number three, I wanted to talk about. Hold on, let me see. I got a screenshot of myself. Okay, yeah. Number three was what do Black women get out of being with a broke, busted and disgusted Black man? Exactly, a Black man that cannot help you, cannot help you pay nothing, cannot contribute to your life and take some of the stress of life off of you. At this point, I'm not even saying he has to pay all the bills for you. Okay. Like what, at least if y'all went 50-50 and he paid half the rent, half the bills for you, paid your car note for you or something. This right here is just like, what the heck is going on? Like being with a man that literally you have to take care of like he's a child, like you pushed him out. What exactly about that would make you be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be my man. Cause this is like really getting out of hand. And I was not really, I knew that there were Black women that tricked on men, you know what I'm saying, and spent money on them. I remember, when I was younger, like in my 20s, and I had a couple male friends, and they would be like, Black women will take care of you. Black women will spend a lot of money on you. And I always used to not really take them seriously because I was thinking, I ain't paying for you. So I didn't think like it was really that many Black women out here that do that. But it really is a lot of Black women out there that do this, and it's got to stop. And Black women that have this like mammy spirit, pick me spirit, I'll do any and everything just to have a man's presence around. He doesn't have to treat me well. He doesn't have to be loyal to me. He doesn't even have to keep his hands off me. He can live in my house, not pay nothing. He can take me to work in my car and come pick me up late. It doesn't matter as long as he's there. Exactly what is that? Like, why do you need a man so bad? Like, what exactly? The only way a man's presence is even beneficial is if he's actually doing something to help you, and he's actually loyal and loving to you. And if a man loved you and was loyal to you, he would never let you be broke. He would never not help you with money. He would never not do all of these things. So any of these men that are using you and not providing anything to you don't like you in the first place, because if a man really liked you, he wouldn't even feel comfortable. Like I don't understand. Like it's really like insane to me, and I don't know. Unique says being tricked on it, and the I am independent propaganda. I'm not quite for sure what you're saying, Unique. If you want to come and join in the box and let me know, because I might be misunderstanding what you're saying. But anyway, all I'm saying is that something's got to give. And normally I don't come. Good morning, Special K. Good morning, sis. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I missed you. I very rarely come on and come on lives and like really just go at Black women. But this is ridiculous. Like I can't take it no more. Y'all know that like Tory Lane's like little music clip that says like I'm in love with somebody and they don't know my name or whatever. You know what's the little sound they do on TikTok when somebody sees somebody that they like but they didn't say nothing to them and they hoping people find them. They put that on a homeless man getting food from like the people that come and donate the food to homeless people. All of these Black women underneath that post talking about, oh, I would take him home. He look good. He fine. Oh, there's nothing wrong with helping him get back on his feet. Oh, girl, I would clean him up and do this, that. So you mean to tell me that you would actually let a man that you don't know what he got going on in your house and he homeless and don't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of just because you think he cute? Are you dumb? Are you goofy? Do you not know? I'm not saying that there aren't people that are homeless and they get on hard times, because that is absolutely true. But I would venture to say most of the time you see a single solitary black man homeless, especially with the way that black men are coddled and uplifted in the black community, that means he done burnt all his bridges. He done burnt the bridges with his mama, his sisters, his aunties. You know what I'm saying? Women, if y'all think he's attractive, then other women that find him attractive, he burnt all those bridges. So more than likely, he has either substance abuse issues or mental issues, or he will knock your freaking teeth in. And he's a felon, or all three. So it's crazy to me that there are black women still this goofy in this world. Goofy. And when I say that it was women in their 20s in them comments, in their 30s in them comments, in their 40s in them comments, and that blew my freaking mind. How in the world are you going to be in your 40s and still be desperate enough to put a homeless man in your house because you think he look good? Like, what? Like, I just, man, I'm telling you, like, it actually, it wasn't me, right? Because I would never be that stupid. But I will say that it made me mad. It made me mad because I'm like, all of these black women in here are at a risk of being hurt and harmed because they're just that stupid. And anyway, let me just let somebody else speak. I'll go to Calandra and then Unique. Sorry, y'all, because I can't even, I don't know what the going on. But I really do believe 50% of black women are still very much losing their minds, for real. Like, all of these black women that come up and talk about how they don't play that, they don't play with these dudes, they not going 50-50, all of these things. I'm not saying that there aren't black women like that, right? But I do believe it's 50% only. And the other 50% is the reason why all of these things still can never progress and be changed. There's still the reason why all of these ugly black men and also ugly non-black men feel very comfortable in offering us the bare minimum, because some black woman is accepting it. And I really believe it's 50%. But let me go down here. Calandra, you have something to say, sis? And good morning.
Good morning, Trigger. I do have something to say. I think the problem with women is that, first of all, they don't love themselves. So they think having a man is the prize. Like, oh, at least I'm not lonely. I don't know if you watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but that's what Rashida always said about Kurt. Well, at least I got a man. But this is my thing, right? What is it to have a man who disrespects you, treats you like crap, cheats on you? You gotta pay for him to get around. Like, if you gonna do all that, girl, you might well be by yourself. But I think the problem is that women don't love themselves, and so they find a man, any type of man. Because most of the time, I would say pygmies don't get a decent man. You get a bottom of the barrel man. And so I think the problem is that they don't love themselves. And so therefore, any type of a man will make them feel like they won and make them feel like, oh, he's the prize. And I also think that because we live in a patriarchal society, I don't think that will ever end. I honestly say 2 out of 3 women are male-centered. And I definitely think it started with that older generation. You know what I'm saying? You not believing young girls, but you always want to take up from boys and stuff. How women raise their sons. Like, I don't think most women raise their son to be a decent man. And that's why I think it's so easy for boy moms to come on lives and be like, well, I have a son, so I can't just get on the men like that. But you don't raise your son to be a decent guy. And also, I would say that that's the reason why I believe most women want a son, because they're having a baby with an ain't about nothing dude. And so therefore, you know what I'm saying, their son to fill that void for them. And so that's what I think.
All right, all right, all right. Calandra, appreciate you. Let me go up here to Unique and then Blackberry. Go ahead, Unique. And hey, good morning, sis.
Good morning. I definitely, absolutely agree with you and Calandria. Y'all saying everything absolutely correct. Now, first, when I'm saying independent, independent, absolutely, you should be independent. However, the reason why these men are lazy and getting away with stuff because these women every 2 second business days in these dudes' face telling them I'm independent, I got this, I got that. And so now these men are conditioned to say, well, she's independent, I'm gonna let her do X, Y, and Z, and they do it. Independence is you knowing you got your stuff together personally and letting that man be a man in your face. Now, when shit ain't what it's supposed to be and he ain't doing what he need to do, then you are independent enough to go about your day. But telling these men 24/7, I'm independent, I got this, you ain't got to do that. That's the issue with independence. It's not being independent. It's telling these men every 2 seconds, and they already sizing you up. Furthermore, it's so much to unpack. Low self-esteem. They may come on this thing, and I saw a girl say it. On the outside, they're talking about they handling these men. They're not. They're not handling these men at all. Most of these women is too scary. Too scary to do absolutely nothing. Just running their mouth. Just running their mouth. They have low self-esteem. And honestly, the biggest violators is the educated independent women. They're the ones that's getting ran through. The beautiful women, they're the ones who's getting ran through by these men, dogging them out. And they have the worst self-esteem. Everybody always wonders, how can a beautiful woman or a smart woman be with a man like that? It's because that's how they feel in the inside. That's the only way you can attract a man that's going to come in there and do those things to you. No matter how beautiful you are, no matter how smart you are, is because you feel that way in the inside, and that's what you attract. Currently, everybody's just a hot mess. They're just a hot mess. People putting themselves in predicaments that they think they can handle, and they getting outsmarted, outdogged out every single time. And like I said, I don't entertain men issues because black women currently, a good bit of them, they're out of order. They out of order.
All right, all right, all right. Unique. Let me go up here to Blackberry.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me up on the panel because this was exactly me. Um, you grow up, actually, we're set apart from the beginning as black men and black women. We're set apart because men are told to go out there and, do all they can, date every woman. And women, we're sold the dream about you'll get married and like you'll get married and the man is supposed to help create that fantasy idea. We're not told the truth as women. And I also grew up underneath a mother that was male centered. So I've been working really hard on deconstructing myself. So, yeah, women, that was exactly me. And that mindset that you can make him better. Men don't deserve unconditional love, they don't even appreciate it. Giving men unconditional love will set you apart and you'll end up single. Love is absolutely conditional because you deserve the best. So this panel, this question, your prompt, I was not in my right mind. I did make bad decisions. I did choose bad. So when black men started saying choose better, y'all should have chose better. You know what? I looked at it as, yeah, I absolutely should have chose better. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking straight. And then I started to choose myself. And because you choose yourself, they'll tell you that, you crazy and that you're not the same. I'm not the same woman that I used to be. Men is no longer centered in my life because I start to choose me and what I'm doing with myself, what I'm doing with the children that I have, wanting my foundation to be better than what it was for my kids. And also for myself, I start creating a different environment for myself. So y'all stay up and y'all stay strong. Y'all are doing good work. Spreading all of this information that women absolutely need to hear to know that they are important. Y'all are so important to what's going on and where women are headed. I'm so proud of y'all for what y'all are doing. So thank you for letting me speak.
No problem. No problem, Miss Blackberry. I just want to say that like I decided to do this live today, and it's really not to degrade black women or to put black women down. But I just know that me personally, I'm tired of seeing black women taken advantage of. It's no way in the world I should see you with a man that looks like he doesn't even clean behind his ears, and he has your car. He driving your car. He didn't impregnate you. He's stealing from you. He's asking you for money. Like, I can't even tell you how many videos I've seen of black women recording black men asking them for money, telling them, hey, where's my money? Like, you supposed to give me $100. You supposed to give me $50. You supposed to, why this man is unemployed? Like, what the heck is your problem? I don't know if you guys remember this story. It happened, I think, around like COVID time, but it was a black man. And you know, when like you got like Trump gave everybody, well, Trump didn't give everybody, but it was just the policy, right, for people to get that, some people to get the stimulus check. So it was a woman that got a stimulus check, you know, and she had like 3 kids. Her baby daddy, who didn't work, was mad and felt like he should have gotten all of the stimulus check. Have no idea when the man wasn't working or anything like that. However, she had given him like $500 or something like that, and he didn't feel like that was enough. So he went and unalived everybody in the house. If I'm not mistaken, he unalived her dad, the uncle. I don't know if she was there or she wasn't there, but he unalived a whole bunch of people in her house because of that. Now, to me, that never would happen. Not trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? But it never would have happened if she wasn't messing with that caliber of man in the first place, a brokey. I want black women to stop prizing having a man above everything else. And I say this all the time. If you don't unpack it and you say, you know what, I know what's going on with me. The reason why these things are happening is because of the black man, the black man, the black man, because black men ain't no good. So I'm done with black men. I'm going to go to give me a white man. I'm going to go get me a white Hispanic. I'm going to go get me an Asian man. I'm going to go get me this. That's the reason why you got people like, what's that lady named Winnie? That black lady that always be going on dates with white men and get her face played in. What will happen is that you will go to the next race of man and he will also play in your face because you have not unpacked your desperation for a man. Like, let me just say something. There is no reason why any man should be laid up in your bed, laid up in your house, and he is not providing something to you. If a man is willing to lay in your house and take everything from you and not give you nothing, he don't like you. He don't care about you. He don't respect you. You're not his type. Because the man that really felt like, oh man, this is really the girl that I really, wow, like she's all of that, he would never even feel comfortable. He would never feel comfortable. He offers you the bare minimum because he doesn't really like you like that. And he's using you. And it's so many black women that I see every day get used by men that I have no idea why they even gave the time or opportunity to. Like, it's like, what about this man did you like? Like I said, I seen this dog on TikTok trend where the girls will talk about like, hey, this is me. And they be all dressed up and cute. And they be like, this is the man that broke my heart. I'm telling you right now, when them pictures flip and I see the man, I'm like, who is that? Oh my gosh. These men look like literal animals, zombies, creatures. I'm like, y'all really this desperate and this thirsty? I seen this one with this black woman. She was so beautiful. She flipped over and it was this white tee man that didn't have no shirt on. He looked sick. And I was just like, what? What? And I don't even want to tell you about the black men that I seen. Y'all already know. You know, I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me. And somebody got to say something because black women are out here losing their minds. And you know what else I was going to say real quick, y'all, is, and I think I seen proud black women in here. Hey, proud black woman, if you still here, sis. You know what else I seen? Y'all know Duke Dennis, right? I seen a viral clip of Duke Dennis. And it's this black girl or black woman. She's young, in her 20s. And she's telling Duke Dennis, first of all, she's screaming out in his ear, looking that's very embarrassing and cringeworthy. Then she tells this man, can I give you some head? Can I give you some head? I got the best head, no hands, no hands, without hands, whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how How low do you have to think of yourself that the first thing that you want to say to this man is that you're going to give him some head? And he looked flabbergasted. Not to mention that he had to pull this young woman aside and say, hey, you shouldn't do that no more. Nobody should know how you get down until they have an opportunity to be with you. Don't do that. Da 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 da. And she not even listening. She not even listening to him. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I be saying when people be talking about it's just the older women, it's the older black women that be the pick-me's and all of that other stuff. The older black women, some of them do be pick-me's. But a lot of these young women are just as pick-me focused as well. They just shows up in a different way than the older black women. Like the older black women that are pick-me's probably will let you have another family and come home and da-da-da-da. These the young girls be sitting there telling the man she could bust it down. Oh, I got good throat. I got good this, that, and the third. And don't know this man for a can of paint. The young pick-me's go get on 20 versus 1 and let black men call them B words and 304s and luts and all of this stuff and still be telling them how good they can throw it back. That's the new pick-meism for the young girls. It's the same thing. It's just showing in a different way. So don't let nobody tell you that it's just older women out here pick-meing it up, because it ain't. It's plenty of these young girls out here thought and bopping and opening their legs in the back of a car and a Taco Bell with a man that they don't know from a can of paint, that they do nothing for them. Didn't do nothing for them, don't care about them. They couldn't call them if they got a flat tire or anything at all. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's some gotta give. Some gotta give. Somebody gotta talk real about this. And they have to talk real about this, but they also have to love black women and black girls at the same time. Because you have black women that will try to have these conversations, but they don't love black women. They don't love black girls. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And I get what Calandra is saying about older women putting the pick-me spirit on them, but I just feel like I I feel like I'm not doing what the black community does to black men. I'm not giving black girls an out for that. If you 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, at some point you got all of this information, way more information at your fingers than older black women had. You got a phone, you got groups and communities you can join. You got a whole bunch of things where you can find out strictly online without you leaving your house on how you should behave and how these dudes play. You got a million different YouTube channels of black women that give black women information that older black women never, ever, ever had. So if you 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and you getting played with, nah, I'm not blaming your granny for that. I'm blaming you for that. You know what I'm saying? Period. It ain't no older black woman fault. It's your fault. Period. The 20-year-olds now know way more than probably the 30-year-olds knew back in the 1970s, 80s. If y'all know what I'm saying. Like, so it's just like, nah, I'm not going to let older black women take the burden for that. I can't. Because y'all making your own decisions. The young people don't even want nobody to tell them nothing. You tell a young black girl, hey, why in the world do you got your butt crack out? That ain't the good. Oh, you a hater. You a hater. You want my body tea. That ain't okay. Sister, you gonna attract the wrong type of men. Oh, shut up. So it's just like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that older pick-me black women do not exist, because they do. I'm not saying that they're not terrible, because it was plenty of them in my family, my grandma and all of that, my grannies. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, yeah, we have to talk about it. And just once again, know that I love black women and black girls. I really, really do. But this gotta stop. It's got to stop now, because this is just getting out of control. Calandra, did you have something to say, sis? Well, her screen went back.
I just wanted to say that TikTok definitely will teach you not to be a pygmy, because when I grew up, I kind of had those same sentiments too from like listening to women in my family. But when I started getting on TikTok and I started watching your lives and I started hearing like Cindy Noor and the women on Twitter talking about DBG, I was like TikTok could definitely teach you not to be male centered, how to be more of a girl's girl, and not how to be pygmies, because like at one point of my life, things that I didn't see a problem, now after like getting on lives and hearing women perspectives and stuff about me and stuff, it definitely taught me like a lot. Because like when it comes to Cash Doll and her man saying he didn't like natural women, when I was like 18 years old, I was like, well, I mean, if you with a man, you supposed to make him happy. But now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, no, you shouldn't change for a man, and that's pick meism. So I definitely think I do agree with you on that. Young people do have a lot more access to not be that way.
Yeah, okay, okay. I definitely agree with you. And I'll tell you, I remember I was talking to this guy, and this was like a long, long time ago. And I had like some sandals on, and I didn't have any fingernail paint on my toes. And he looked at my toes with disgust and was like, you know, we've been talking for a minute. You don't think that it's inappropriate for you to, come and let me see your feet with no fingernail polish on? And the way he said it, like, was like I had just did the worst of the worst of the worst. And I ended up stopping to talk with him, but I'm just saying it's things like that that I feel like hopefully everybody's experiences online and you telling people, hey, look out for this red flag. Cause I didn't even realize that that was a red flag at the time. I just internally, I was just like, I don't know. This just seemed not right. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me keep going. Go ahead, Blackberry. Did you have something to say, sis?
I agree with y'all. I mean, wholeheartedly. TikTok has personally, I can say that it's changed me. When you grow up with that fantasy idea of love, and then you start trying to pour into men, you pour life into men, thinking that they gonna pour back, and it don't work like that. It just doesn't. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how hard I would build them up, the pour back into me, it was never reciprocal because I never allowed that space for them to pour into me first. And I didn't understand the idea of that until I started getting on TikTok and started understanding that there's a pattern to the way that men behave. So I agree with y'all. I started breaking those chains. But see, there's one part though that's a little bit different where when you're younger, you don't have might not have a job at first, but you expect that to eventually change. And then it just like never changed. They would get a job and not be able to hold that job, lose that job. So I'm back doing everything. I'm buying the groceries. I'm trying to cook. I'm trying to raise the damn kids. It's just like you're doing all the work and they just sit there and watch you do it to the point of where you're so tired and you so drug out. Eventually you say enough is enough. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. My second baby daddy, I have two, a total of three kids. My second baby daddy would personally tell me, you really don't give yourself enough credit for who and what you are as a woman. You don't give yourself. I didn't love me properly. Nobody talked to me about how to love self properly first. And the fact that I would spend all my energy pouring into them more than I poured into myself. I started to let go of that and understand that there was more to me to love and loving on myself. That started turning the wheels. And then I started getting on TikTok and understanding that there's a pattern to how men treat women and how men behave and stuff like that. And the pick me definitely came up. And I was like, damn, I'm a pick me. You get surprised when you understand that there's a term for what you've been doing. When really, for me, initially, it was just trying to provide men with unconditional love because they say that's what they wanted. But every single time I gave it, it got thrown back in my face like it was nothing. All the work I did was for nothing. So, yeah, I end up having to stop doing that because they don't appreciate it. Men don't deserve unconditional love and they know it. They can't stand you for it. When you have all of your stuff together, that's all that they see first. My house, because I have a house. The fact that I even had a house. The fact that you look like you look and you have the kind of spirit that you have. They won't like you because of that. You end up being what they consider too good to be true. So they try to break you and hurt you before you can hurt them. But then in the long run, they only end up hurting themselves because they end up seeing what they had in you. They don't learn till after it's over that you absolutely was that you her. You're her. And they'll come back over and over again to remind you that You know what? You was absolutely her. I was just talking to my ex yesterday. He consistently reminds me that I am her and want to get back, but I would never. Once that cloud is gone, it's gone. And there is no reversing and going back to who you used to be once you learn how to love yourself. So y'all keep spreading the word for women loving yourselves and making, I mean, in the end, men end up being better for you because they identify that you know how to love yourself because they know when you don't.
I agree. I agree. I agree, Blackberry, for sure. And I just wanted to say something about what you said about giving men unconditional love. First of all, I want to say number one, men are not deserving of unconditional love. Period. That's number one. But number two, there is no such thing, in my opinion. Now, this may be controversial as unconditional love because every love that you give someone, and this is maybe even more controversial, even the love with you that you have with your children is conditional. And I'll tell you why. Because if you had a child, right, and they were 18 or 19 and they tried to unalive you, or every time you was there they was cussing you out and calling you the B word and smacking you and putting their hands on you, they stole your car, they broke it up, they were destroying your household, at what point would you say, hey, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to have any type of dealings with each other anymore? Like that's it. And as far as men go, and men and women go in relationships, it's a give and take situation. You get into a situation, and I'm married, you get with somebody, you're married to them, you're there because you're getting something, and they're there because they're getting something. That you love them, you respect them, you treat you good. And I'm not just saying it has to be money or anything like that, but there are conditions on it. The conditions are, hey, you don't cheat on me, you don't put your hands on me, you take care of what you got to do. All of these things, the same conditions that the man will put on you, it's all of that. There are conditions. Most people are, unless you're a dummy, are not going to say, hey, there are no conditions, I'm gonna love you no matter what you do. Even if you're like, let's say you're my son, and I find out that you have, molested your daughter, or my, which would be my granddaughter, or this, that, and the third, I'm still gonna love you and be there. Most of the time, if you're a sane person, there is no unconditional love, because there are certain things that somebody can do that can make you be like, yeah, no. Most of the time that doesn't happen, so you can act like it's unconditional. But if those things happen, you will probably separate yourself. So my thing is that, but outside of all of that, giving a man unconditional love and telling a man that you will be there for him no matter what is one of the stupidest things you could ever do in your entire life. A man has got to know that you are capable and you are willing to, and you will leave if he does not treat you with the respect and love that you desire, and is not out here, being broke or mooching off of you, whatever the case may be. Period. My husband definitely know that I don't play no type of games like that. It's certain things we've already talked about. You cheat, you put your hands on me, you disrespect me. I guess that he's not like this, but if he was to touch the kids or something like that, I'm gone ASAP. Not no second day, not no let's talk about it. You kindly getting your and getting out. Or I'm gonna pack up all the things for the kids and we gonna escape and go somewhere, whatever the case may be, because I don't play like that. And there's no man on this planet that deserves unconditional love from you as a woman, because not to mention, men will take that and will use you and will violate you and will disrespect you and will tear up your whole entire world if you would have ever tell them something like that. So I need any black woman or black girl listening to this, please don't ever tell no man that. Please make sure that any man that you are talking to knows that you do not play, period. You can know that, hey, I know she loved me, but I also know that she has a boundary and she don't play with me like that. All right? But let me go down here to Proud Black Woman. Go ahead, Proud Black Woman. And good morning, sis.
Hey, good morning, Trigger. Good morning, everybody. I really agree with a lot of what Blackberry was saying. And it's very, very, it is so nice to hear Black women be honest. It's very nice to hear Black women be honest about the fact that they have struggled loving themselves. And so they have been taking advantage of men and they want to change, because oftentimes, and what I see on this app is, the problem is this: most Black women never learn how to love themselves. And they pour into everybody else except them. And so they end up in these abusive relationships. And even though these same Black women will complain all day, every day about why they keep getting the same type of man, what Black women need to understand is you have to change something. You have to change. You. All that, I'm just gonna pray about it. Yeah, you can pray all day, but if you're not doing something to change, you're gonna keep getting the same thing. And that's the issue with a lot of Black women. They think that all we have to do is pray and all this shit gonna go away. No, God is waiting for you to change how you deal with men. And once we do that, then men will become better men and we will start getting a better response. And I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of Black women to realize, is because here's the thing. We already know that once you start getting standards and boundaries and you start making men respect you, that's going to be less men. And that's the thing that a lot of Black women don't want to face. They don't want to face the fact that, well, if I tell him we can't have sex early, then he not going to want to be with me. Well, if I tell him he can't stay with me, then he not going to want to be with me. Man, let him go. That's the point, sis. That's the point. And a lot of Black women are not willing to be without a man. So that's why they don't want to change. And those are the Black women that I say this respectfully, you got to lead them by the wayside. Because at the end of the day, it's we have to want better for ourselves. And wanting better for yourselves mean you're going to have to change the way you deal with men. We cannot change Black men. What we can do is change how we deal with them. I can tell you from being in my 40s and from personal experience. First of all, I didn't grow up around pick-me's. There's no pick-me's in my family. Like we all stand on business over here. So I never saw that. I never saw women in my family struggle behind men. And it wasn't something that was taught to me. It was just kind of like I was just watching and I saw how the women in my family didn't play. So that's where I think I got that from, right? So in saying that, I think that's part of why I've never been in an abusive relationship, because I always had the strength to walk away before shit even went there. But what I will say is I'm not perfect. So there are relationships, y'all, that I was in where I probably did, more for him than I shouldn't have. Like I remember washing a man's clothes. I remember, I would always, there was this guy that I used to date and I would always go over his house and I would cook for him. I did little things like that. Things that didn't change my life. Okay. They weren't life changing, but I did too much. And I noticed when I was doing those things, those little bitty things, it didn't make him want me anymore. It didn't make this man love me anymore. When I started realizing that men love you more is the less I did for a man, that's when I started getting what I really wanted. And that's what I really want Black women to understand. The best relationships I've had is when I was doing hardly nothing. Nothing. I was just simply there. I was just there. Like the man was just, my spirit was enough for him. And that was enough. And that's what I want y'all to understand. You can do all that. You can kill yourself trying to cook for this man, giving him the best head, giving him the best coochie. It's not going to make him want to be with you anymore, sis. The less you do for a man, the better he is going to treat you, because he's going to see that you love yourself. Men respect you the more you love yourself, not the more you love him. Let's be very clear about that. Let me say that again. Men respect you the more you love yourself, the more they see you love yourself, not the more they see you love him. Because the more you love him, he's going to use and abuse you. Even a good man is going to use you. That is men. And I had to learn that men are hunters. Even the best man is out to see what he can get from you. So once you lay them rules down in the very beginning about what you're not going to put up with and what you're not going to do, I'm telling you, once he know that from the very beginning, he going to get his act right, because he going to realize this is not a woman to be played with. And I look over my life and I'm like, this is why men have never tried to take advantage of me. Even the ones who didn't do the most for me, what they also didn't do? They didn't abuse me either, because they knew what time it was. I'm not a woman to be played with. And I set that tone in the very beginning. You must let a man know that you will walk away, not your ability to still stay there while he treats you like crap. And that's something I have a problem with a lot of pick-me's, where you really think you finna win this battle. You're not going to win showing a man how you're willing to stay. because you done stayed with this man. This man done cheated on you like 6 times and you still here, sis. Like, why are you still here? You should have been left. You should have left after the first time, because that's why he keeps cheating on you, because he know your dumb ass ain't going nowhere. So we have to unlearn that, Black women. The more you stick around, the more you going to get shitted on. It just is what it is. When you start putting your foot down and start putting yourself first, that's when you're going to attract better men. So I'll land there.
All right, all right, all right. I definitely agree with what Miss Proud Black Woman was saying. I definitely feel like, you know, when I was dating and stuff like that, that's definitely something that I adopted. And I realized that after, you know, my first marriage is that, you know, for lack of a better word, I don't believe that men really respect like you being super nice to them. That's number one. I don't believe that you should be super nice to men. Now, I just don't. I believe that men respect you more when you're not so nice. That's number one. And number two, I really do believe that if a man is willing to watch you struggle, or a man is not willing to do whatever for you, then he doesn't like you like that. So I think that men that really, really want whatever woman it is that they're pursuing, they'll bend over backwards to do what they got to do for you. And you don't have to do much. Just like Proud Black Woman was saying, all you have to do is show up. But that's because you're the woman that they want. When you're the afterthought, or you're the woman that they're settling for, or you're the one that they don't like all like that, then that's when you have these issues with them not doing what they need to do by you. And I hope that more women will understand that by putting strong boundaries in place, by letting men know that, hey, no, I'm not going this way, I'm not doing this, you're able to get way more respect out of men. And I do believe, just another thing to piggyback off what Miss Proud Black Woman said, is that she said even good men too. Absolutely. It's every single solitary man. You've got to let them know you don't play. You've got to have boundaries. And most importantly, you've got to be prepared to walk away if things don't work out. Period. And I just would like the women to know this. And, you know, you have women that talk about, you know, like I know T Scorpio's up here about making sure a man has money and things like that. I don't know if I agree with everything that, you know, T Scorpio says about like finances and marriage and relationships, but one thing I will say that I really do believe that she's totally on point with, is that a man is not paying nothing for you, not doing nothing for you financially, and he cool with that. He don't like you. He don't like you at all, which is the reason why that's still a part that you have to consider in dating somebody. Period. This is just my opinion. You know, I can't speak for nobody else on here. But, you know, and I wanted to understand, I agree with most of the things that she say. But yeah, like I said, I would like Black women to have more self-esteem and less of a desire to prioritize having a man over, you know, their own self-esteem and self-worth. Like, there's no way in the world you should be comfortable having a man that has nothing to offer you. Like I said earlier, y'all, that video that I saw of that homeless man that they put that Tory Lane sound on, that everybody was talking about, like, you know, I'm in love with somebody that don't know my name or whatever, and he's sitting there. I'm like, y'all talking about taking this man to y'all house and getting him clothes and showering him and bathing him and cleaning him up and being with him and sleeping with him, and you don't know what this man got going on? That is so pathetic. Like, and it was so many Black women. I'm talking about so many Black women saying this. And it was even Black women trying to put it on God, trying to put it on Jesus. Oh, Jesus told you to do it. No, Jesus ain't tell you to go pick up no homeless man that you don't know what he got going on and clean him up. Because you think he's handsome. Because if that's the case, if y'all care about going to find somebody homeless, why y'all not finding these Black women with children that are in domestic violence shelters, or Black women that are just having hard times, that have been abused by their family and things like that, and now they have substance abuse issues? Why y'all not finding those women and those children to bring into your home and to give some money to, and to help get them back on track? You trying to get somebody with a penis to come in there. Like, what? You don't really care. You're desperate and you're pathetic and you're pygmalion, and I'm disgusted by it. Period. And you know, underneath that video, there were people that were saying that they knew this man and was saying that he had mental issues. So y'all willing to bring a man in that y'all don't know? Like I said earlier, if you see a Black man on the streets, I promise you, it's 9 times worse than anybody else you see, because Black men are coddled in the Black community. So he always got a granny, you know what I'm saying, a mama to fall back on. And even if he doesn't have a mama or a granny or somebody in the family fall back on, if he's looking some type of way like these women thought this man was attractive, then he can game on women. He can have access to women that way, which means that he's then burnt his bridges in every way possible, which means that's a dangerous man that you need to be staying away from. Period. But anyway, let me keep going. To Jagoon, then Special K, and then T. Go ahead, Jagoon. Let me know if I'm saying your name right, because I feel like I'm not. Um, but yeah, go ahead, sis. I think I accidentally cut your mic off. Go ahead, sis. Let me know, like if I said your name right.
Yeah, you did. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead,
I'm
Jagoon.
sorry. I'm sorry, I'm driving. I just wanted to say what you guys are saying is true. Um, Men respect you and treat you better the worse you treat them. This I learned in my younger years, just from a man I was dealing with. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but he had said something about the way I treated him when we first met. He was more attracted to me, and then I found Christianity, right? And I tried to do things right. You treat people a certain way. Before my mentality was I'm gonna get you before you get me, and that's how I treated him. Um, and he loved me. He treated me better. He respected me more so than when I was trying to do it the so-called Christian way. I think too that so many black women have such a low self-esteem, and to where everything is surrounding a man. I cannot stand and never have been able to stand a woman who only talks about getting a man or wanting a man or having a man. That's not the ultimate in what our lives should be. That shouldn't be our life goal. And so many of us, it is, and we're validated by it in our community. And that is strictly to coddle and support black men because black men have been conquered by every other man. And I'm Gen X, I'm an older Gen X. And I can remember when this push was to empower black men by encouraging them, praising them, protecting them. Nothing they ever did was wrong. I knew that by the way my brothers were treated as opposed to how the women in my family were treated. And it was like protect them at all costs, and maybe they will be encouraged to become more and not be so defeated. And I think that is something that we have to destroy in our younger girls. Having a man means nothing, but having a man, doesn't make you a better person, doesn't make you better than any other woman. You just have a man. That's nothing more. Um, but these girls need to understand that there's more in their lives than to accomplish and to just get a man, any old piece of a man. And that's destroying our community. It's destroying black men because they don't even try. I've always said that black men use black women because they can't conquer any other being. They can't conquer any other being in this country. The only person they've been able to conquer is black women. And they use these manipulation games. They're obsessed with having and conquering women, and the more women they have, to them that's validation in being a man, instead of focusing on bettering themselves or fighting their actual oppressor. They want to conquer us, and that's why you see this great push that they're on social media now. It's greater to it than just our community. There's a greater push within America to have men once again dominate women. But within our community, this is why you have them shaming us for being single mothers, even though they created them, shaming us for having high body count when they are the ones who are perpetuating all of it. They're the ones who are perpetuating all of it in our community, but yet they shame us, and each and every time black women fall for it. Black women listen to these men, and that I see a greater push now with younger women, but it has to be totally eradicated. Black women have to get some self-esteem and deconstruct in what we were taught, that having a man makes you a better woman or makes you a valuable human being. And that's all I wanted to say.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Jagoon, and I agree with everything that you said for sure. I think you made great points. Let me go up here though, to Miss Special K and then T.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, I missed everybody. I miss being on the lives. I work a lot. I can't wait till the summertime is over where it slows down, right? But I want to say that ride or die chick days are over. They were over in the early 2000s, and I'm never going back. I used to think that it was a problem because, like, the men in my family, including my father and my uncles, and then some of the younger men in my family, I used to think, like, why is it that the women in our family are the single ones, but then, all of my aunties or whatever, but then the my uncles and my dad, they remain married, and I used to think, like, is it a curse on our family? Like, why is it that, we can't, I had that thinking, like, why is it that we can't keep a man, and I didn't think that I was supposed to keep a man, but I'm just like, what am I doing wrong that, why I'm not in committed relationships, and I just realized that it was because, and it took my uncle to even tell me it when I was going through my divorce. And then I watched my other cousins go through their divorce, and I watched my aunties go through divorce. It wasn't until he said it. He said, because you guys are too strong for these men. And I find myself all the time looking for, men that are like my uncles, men that are like my dad. They don't exist anymore. And I had to come to grips with that. Like, don't get me wrong. They probably exist in other races. They probably exist. But when it comes to the Black community, like, it's far and in between if they do exist. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I lost all hope, when it comes down to Black men. And I don't even like, when a man is around, like, I can see that he's a nice looking dude, but I just kind of look away and I just go into my own world and I just do my own thing, because at the end of the day, sorry, I got a phone call. At the end of the day, I know he's probably going to be the same type of man that the other men are, because it's like they got a playbook and they copy off each other. When I'm around, the men in the barbershop, they have these conversations all the time, and I'm like, it's all of y'all. I gotta figure it out, whether or not it's all of y'all. But in this barbershop, all of y'all have the same mind frame, and it's crazy to me. And I even have women of course, in my chair, I have women, and they are I don't know what generation they're from, maybe boomer, but maybe the quiet. I think I got a mixture. But anyways, the boomers and that the silent generation, like, it's like they're robots, when we talk about things like P Diddy, because they stay up on that stuff, and we talk about certain things. Some of them, and I'm not gonna say all, some of my clients, it's like they're robots. They repeat, well, they just trying to bring a Black man down. And I'm like, where did y'all get this from? Because I never heard that in my family. So I'm like, where did y'all get this from? Because from what I know, Black women and Black men, we face the same, obstacles majority of the time. And I feel like when it comes down to a Black woman, we face even more issues. So where did this come from, where the world is only against Black men, but they not against Black women? Like, I don't, like, for the life of me, I couldn't understand. And, like, I've had several conversations with my father. He's definitely not a misogynistic person, but I've heard him repeat some things, like when it came down to EBT, and when it came down, to all of those things. My dad did have views like, the white man, brought the EBT so that it can separate the black family, things like that. He has said those things. But my dad, he'll cook, he'll clean, he'll do everything. You know, he's not misogynistic, but there is something there that, you know, okay, he was raised in that generation though, and you will know that. But it's like I used to think that it was something wrong with me. And when I went through my divorce and I healed and I got through, I'm like, no, everything that I thought that these men that I would, you know, give my number to, or the men that I would date, every single one of those dudes that I thought was a red flag were really red flags. So now in my older years, I'm like, you're a red flag. Because I used to be that woman that didn't mind when I see a nice looking dude walking down the street. I'm in a car, but he's walking down the street. I'm like, oh, he a good looking dude. But now, and that was in my early 20s. But now, when I see a dude walking down the street, he walking, he need to go get a car. He needed this, he needed that. So I saw that video of those women that were like, he was being served food or something like that. Is that the video you talking about? Where he was being served food with
girl.
other poor men?
Yes.
I was like, when I saw the comments, and the girl who made the video, I think she was like mixed or something like that. But when I saw the video, he was like a light-skinned dude. I was like, first of all, even if he wasn't poor or broke, he still was not that attractive. And then not only that, I was like, who actively sees a bum on the street and is like, ooh, that's a fine man? No, not at all. He was, and his shoes were messed up. Like, he looked like he was homeless. I couldn't believe it, but she is right. Those women fell in love, and I think they're trying to mimic what that, you know, it was a guy, I think he became popular. His mugshot became popular, and now he's some famous actor and model. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're trying to find that, you know, that person again, you know, and it's like, no, like, he just happened to look up to be, you know, extremely fine. But I still wouldn't date him because of his rap sheet. I wouldn't date him because he got tattoos all upside his neck and face. No, there's no way you telling me that just because he got pretty eyes, that's enough for you as a woman to want to date that man. That's not enough. And I think that a lot of the men that I talk to, they think that them either having money or being good looking is enough for us women to date them. And when I get up in those areas and I have those discussions with those men, they want to fight me about it. They get angry, they get mad because I'm messing up their mindset. Like, they're like, women are supposed to love us. They're supposed to love us no matter what. And I'm not gonna do that. And I don't care who you are, how light your skin is, how dark your skin is, how much money you got. None of that matters. At the end of the day, if you're not a good man, then you don't deserve my time and you don't deserve me. And I'll end there.
All right, all right. I definitely appreciate you, Special K. I'll say that the guy with the light eyes, I never even thought he was attractive. I thought he looked like Skeletor. I didn't see him in a few Tubi movies when I feel like, you know, just vegging out in front of the couch. But I never thought he was cute at all. Like, I never understood what the appeal was with him. But I know he ended up getting with some like rich white tea woman that had like a whole bunch of money, and she ended up like, you know, showing him a whole bunch of stuff he had never seen, and then ended up dumping him and dropping him off. So he got exactly what he deserved, because he had left his like baby mama or his longtime girlfriend for the rich woman, and then the rich woman ended up getting rid of him. Now I don't know if he's got somebody else now, but yeah, he did his girl that was with him, when he was at the bottom, which is normally what men do. Now he looks like he's probably biracial or something, I guess. But I think I don't even want to put that just and say that's just on biracial men or black men. I really think it's on men in general. Like when you sacrifice everything for a man, you hope to get that same, thing reciprocated, but men don't respect that. Men don't respect you sacrificing for them. Men don't respect that. Men respect you being, in my opinion, selfish and telling them, hey, you got to give me this, that, and the third. And that's it. I don't even, like I said before, I don't think men respect niceness. Like I don't. And no matter what you do for a man, for the most part, if you're doing everything, he's never going to give you that back. He's not. There's only a few small selection of men that are going to give you what you pour in back. And I think that the majority of the time, when you are getting something, like a man has to be obsessed with you. He has to, and this is a dirty little secret. Don't let nobody, don't tell nobody I told y'all this, but I'm of the belief system that the man has to like you a little bit more than you like him for things to work out and to go smoothly. Like he has to really be really, really crazy about you. And I've seen this in my real life. I really do believe that to be the case. If you're like, and some people say, well, y'all both got to be obsessed, but yeah, okay, cool. I'm not saying y'all not both supposed to like each other and be in love with each other, but I really do believe that man has to have a little bit more, towards you. Like I don't know what it is, but I really do believe that. That's just my opinion. I've seen it time and time and time again. The most healthiest relationships. I know a lot of black women don't believe in black love anymore, but I have seen quote unquote black love in my life. Of course, you don't know what's going on in the marriage except the two people that's in it. But in situations where I seen black men that I can tell that they like really go above and beyond for that black woman, he's always had that vibe that he liked her a little bit more, a little bit more. And that's just what it is. And I can say the same, in my situation. I'm just saying, I do, but that may sound terrible, but I believe it to be true. But let me go over here to T Scorpio, and then Kalandra has something to say in response to I think what Jagoon was saying, and then we'll hit a proud black woman. So it'll be T, then Kalandra, and then proud black woman. Go ahead, T.
Hey, ladies, good morning. Can y'all hear me well?
Yes, ma'am. It's so good to see you.
Oh, girl, it's always a pleasure to be here, always. And listen, don't ever say like, like, oh, T, like, I agree with most of the things you say. It's okay to disagree. Listen, I welcome the disagreements. Not everybody has the same belief system as I am. The reason why I believe marriage is a business because of my background. I used to be a paralegal working in Wall Street, and that is where I learned the fundamental laws about marriage, and that's ever since then I've looked at marriage as a business. Maybe maybe that's the reason why it shaped me the way it shaped me the way I am today. And that was when I was like 19, 20 years old. So, and I'm 36. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, you will never offend me, sis. Never, never. So with that being said, like when I'm listening to listening to these ladies talk about like, a man this, a man that, and they willing to bring in a homeless man off of the strength that he's a man, and specifically a black man. This is why I categorize those women as unhealthy minded. That is why I always keep saying until my face turn blue, healthy minded, healthy minded, healthy minded, a healthy minded man and a healthy minded woman. And specifically a healthy minded woman will not take no bum off the street because she's already aware that you're there for a reason, and whatever the circumstances are, if you can't get yourself up, you're not qualified to be in a relationship with me because you got psychological damage, you are emotionally irregulated, you're possibly traumatized, and I don't need that in my life because I aim to have a happy, healthy life. So with that being said, any woman that sit up and say, oh, like, you gotta worship, you gotta, like you said, like you both gotta worship each other, or you're both this, you're both that. That is an unhealthy minded woman that is insecure. I know those type of women when I hear it. That's why I don't like looking at papoose and Kalisa or Blueface and Krishan, those are unhealthy minded women in an unhealthy relationship when with unhealthy minded men, toxic men, not even unhealthy. They're just toxic men. So with that being said, and I hate those type of relationships being promoted because it's rebranding or it's keeping women in a certain mindset that this is a representation of love, which it is not. It is not a representation of love. And if I'm gonna go as far as say this, a lot of women don't know what love is. And I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I say that on my platform all the time. I said a lot of women do not know what healthy love looks like because if she does, she wouldn't give a man like you a chance. She wouldn't be with a man like you. She never experienced healthy love. She don't believe there's a man out there walking on this planet that would value her time, value her mind, her spirit, her energy, everything about her. These women are, if any women that come up on my platform and argue me that a man like my husband don't exist, which honestly speaking, he should have been the average black man. If I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, it should have been more black men like my husband, and even better. If I'm gonna be honest with you, because he's almost 60, so it should have been 30-year-old men in our generation walking around with his mindset. But you see they're already damaged. So when I talk about a man like my husband, you have some ladies that will come up and say, what kind of man is that? No man would do that. Yes, he did. Yes, he is. There's plenty men out there that are healthy minded and that will love you and value you. You just never came across it. You might as well just say my husband is Santa Claus. You might as well say a man like my husband is the Easter Bunny. You don't believe it exists out there, but a man like that does exist. But you too busy chasing crumbs of a man. That's the problem. And the number one thing, like I love, like my proud black woman saying, you don't even love yourself. You don't even love yourself. What makes you think a healthy minded man will love you, ladies? If you do not love yourself, what makes you think a healthy minded man that got everything together, he's established, he's emotionally intelligent, that he exhibits healthy masculinity, will give you a chance to say that, okay, yeah, I want women to love themselves more than believe in being in a relationship is an all and be all. That's what I just can't stand when I hear women talk about relationships, as if they're going to like suffer or something like that. Like, no, don't settle for the bare minimum. Why would you want to settle for the bare minimum when you are better than that, when you are more than that? And I always urge women to be single. Even me speaking as a married woman, I say, hell, be single. There's nothing wrong with being single. If you don't like your own company, what makes you think that what makes you think you're going to be happy in the company of a man? Like, like that's just mainly what like I like to preach to women is like self-love and self-dignity and self-respect. You know, and one of the other things I wanted to touch on, and damn it, I keep forgetting about it. All right, I'm just gonna go by what you said, Trigger. Like, yeah, it is something about the less you do for a man, the more he does for you. There is something to that. There's something to that. The less you do for a man, the more he does for you. You basically just have to just like almost just show up because you his ideal woman that he loves you. And I think a lot of our women don't never experience stuff like that. Just showing up and being herself and being free, and a man loves her just because of that, and not put this idea in other women's heads that you gotta earn love, you gotta work for love. Yeah, you gotta go through the trenches for love. You gotta suffer to get through love. Yeah, you're gonna go through this, you're gonna go through that, but at the end of the day, you got love. Like, no, that's not love, honey. Love has nothing to do with sufferance. You shouldn't have to suffer for love, you know? And like I said, I mainly like to talk about and focus on women being more healthy minded so they can make healthy decisions if you want to include a man in your life. The reason why I have put all of those things on my husband with him signing the infidelity clause and all of this stuff, because remember, I was content with being single. I was fine with being single. Having a companion was not in my future, but he wanted companionship with me. Yeah, that's the difference. So And I think a lot of women, my personal opinion of that should be a solution. Women shouldn't have in their minds anymore to want to get married, that they should focus on themselves and actually be okay with being single. I think it's something to that, if a woman don't mind being single, that she could be single for the rest of her life and still be happy. And that's when I believe, that's when a healthy minded man, when you will attract a healthy minded man. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's only if women, if you do want, or like, you don't mind having a relationship, fine. But until then, like I said, I just want women to just make better and healthy choices. And I want black women to be happy. I want black women, if you are going to be in a relationship, to experience real healthy love. So, and I think it's a lot of insecurities in as women that we have, because even the most successful, beautiful woman will date down because she's, like I said, it's like an insecurity problem. Like she's desperate for a man, and she think, like I said, the crumbs of a man is better than having none. That's why a lot of men low key like Papoose and Calissa, because she dated down. She's dating down. That's why they think that that's the epitome of black love, because you have a successful woman at the height of her career dating a man that's not only he's married, he's not even in her financial tax bracket. He's not he's not even on her level successfully. So yeah, I'll land there and I'll elaborate later.
All right, T. I did want to respond to what was going on in the comments when you were talking. I think it was Pink Roots that said that she disagreed with you because she doesn't believe like there are any like decent men around. Now, the reason why I have a problem with this type of thought process is not because I want to defend or protect men or anything like that, nor is it because I want to try to force women to have this, faith for faith or hope for love or anything like that. It's kind of like I remember when I saw this interview with Young Miami and Ari Fletcher, and they were talking about how like they believe that all men cheat and all men are disloyal and all of this other type of thing. And I was confused by that because I'm like, if y'all really believe that all men are unfaithful, cheaters, and disloyal, why in the world are y'all still engaging with men? Why, first of all, why are y'all having relationships with a group of people that you feel like are 100% of the time gonna do you dirty? That means that you have no self-esteem and you're desperate for a man above, your own self-esteem and your own self-worth. So that's number one. And then let's say if you say like, hey, I've unpacked that. No, I believe that. And I'm not talking to men at all. I want you to know that nothing in life is absolute. Your experiences are not the sum of everyone else's experiences at all. Like me personally, I have been in an abusive relationship with my first husband. I did leave, but my parents left me, ill-equipped. I was raised extremely religious, extremely sheltered in a cult, da 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 da. So I wasn't aware of knowing really what to look for, So I was in that situation, but that doesn't mean that I will say to another woman that says, like proud black woman, that she's never been in that situation. Oh, I don't know about that because every last man is a beater, in my opinion. You can't say that. Once you speak in absolutes, it brings you to the point of irrationality. So I just want to say that we always, it's best for us as women to try to think in the way that makes the most sense, and that's the most rational. And the most rational thing to think is that your experience is not the sum of everybody's. There are women that are being loved properly by men. There are women that are being loved improperly by men. There are women that are being treated like a queen by men, and there are also women that are being okey doked by men. Now, do I believe that the majority of men are terrible? Yes. I've said my estimation is 75-25, 80-20. That I believe that 75% of men or 80% of men are trifling, and this is of all races, and 25 to 30% are decent. And sometimes women give me a higher estimate or a lower estimate, but that's just my estimate. So I'm not saying that I believe that good men and decent men are plentiful. All I'm saying is, to speak in absolutes, it leads you down a road of, I guess I would say extremism to where you're not thinking clearly. But this is not said to convince you because you said, thank God you don't want a man. I'm not trying to force any man down your throat or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. Um, you said that, let's see, you said screenshot where you said all men. I can go back up because you didn't say it's a very small amount. You responded to T and you said that you disagree with her. And let me go back up here and I will read it to you directly. Where you said it.
Just come in and just say, yeah, because I said,
Oh yeah,
like,
there
yeah,
you go. I'm
healthy
sorry, T.
minded,
I
decent
just
men,
want
yeah.
to I just want to read it to her. You said that you disagree with her, that there are potentially good men in the world. You saying that you disagree with T, that there are potentially good men in the world, means that you don't think there are any. So I didn't, now I see why Proud Black Woman had you blocked. So like I said, you did say it. If anybody has any type of, intellect or critical thinking skills, it's clear that that's what you said. You said that you disagreed that there were any potentially good men in the world. That's exactly what you said. So I didn't put words in your mouth. I literally read that you said exactly that. But you were already making weird comments and stuff in the chat. So I don't know. Look, I'm gonna give you grace, and I'm gonna let you live and not say anything else. But let me go down here to Kalandra and then Proud Black Woman, and then if Jagoon doesn't mind, we'll go to Alan. I don't think that he'll be up long, so you'll be able to speak right after Jagoon. Because Alan is over here talking about some look, you know what? Pink Roots, I'm gonna go ahead and block you, all right, sis? I don't know why you're following me. But I don't, you have a great day, okay? I hope you find a better life that suits your taste. Goodbye. Bye-bye. All right. So she's gone. She's blocked. So yeah, y'all probably, if y'all wanted to respond to her, y'all can't because she's gone. Go ahead, Kalandra. Oh no, I think yeah, it was Kalandra and then Proud Black Woman.
Yeah,
And then
I blocked her too.
okay, yeah.
I asked you, did you want to block her? Did you want to give a chance in the comments?
Oh no, she had to go. That was too
Yeah,
much.
and Alan, be wary of him if you go look at his page. But I wanted to respond to Jagoon because when it comes to like, I do think people, when it comes to Christianity in the church, I do think women should not be very careful of that because I'm gonna say this: when we live in a very Western society, and I sometimes think the church upholds patriarchalism, and I think it kind of teaches women to be pick-me's because when you're teaching women that their ultimate goal in life and that they should aspire to marriage, I think that kind of leads women to like pick-meism because, or even to compete with another woman. Like for me personally, I don't really respect women who date guys who create broken homes or like just a girl. I don't respect her because you bragging and always dogging single mothers, but your husband made a single mother. And for me, I just sometimes feel like the church leads to women like staying in a bad marriage and stuff because like I don't know if anybody ever watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, but Melody and her husband got a divorce and she literally said that her husband had a baby on her. When she filed for divorce, people in her church was calling her like, you're messing up a happy home because of a few mistakes and stuff. Like those kids are going to be in a broken home. And so for me, I think the church is sometimes to blame as well because when you're teaching women to aspire to marriage, you're not teaching women to get a good man. You just teaching women to get married to a man. And I don't support that kind of ideology either. I think it kind of breeds pick-meism. And I also think it leads to women just, oh, I just got to find a man to be married because you only teach women to aspire to be mothers and wives. And I don't support that ideology. I think women should be taught to love themselves. I think we should start teaching young girls that if you never get married and find a man, that is okay. You should aspire to other things. But for me, that Christianity thinking and that patriarchy stuff, I think that's how we got kind of in the systems we're in today because women are taught. And that's why I think single mothers are judged the way they are because you're teaching women to just go out and go get married, and which leads to women thinking that they're better than other women. Like for me, I see lives all the time, women, oh, he wouldn't do me like that, but he would though, sis, because that's in him. What he does to one woman, he will do to you because that's in him. It's nothing special about you. You just have not got your turn out of him yet. And I think all that is under pick-meism. Like the people that's dating DDG. he beat that one girl, he will put his hands on you. Just because he hasn't done it does not mean that you cannot change a man. And for me, I don't respect women who think like that. You're not better than her. You don't look better than her. You just have not had your turn. And once you have your turn, you're going to want people to feel sorry for you. And that's why for me, I always have said the term bitter baby mama and the term fast little girl was started by women, because the things y'all teach yourselves, the things y'all teach yourselves to date these men and to be okay with these men, all of that falls under that. You thinking somebody bitter baby mama, when really she could be helping you avoid the same mistakes she made. But all of that is under patriarchyism, and that's the problem with women. Instead of y'all being girls, and learning from somebody else's experience, you're competing with her for loser men. And the problem with a lot of that is you never get a good guy. You never end up getting a good guy. Most of the women I know that are pygmies, they done dated guys that was on unemployment, had a criminal record. Our money. I'm sorry. Have dated guys like, even with the movie Women That Art Lose, that man on the first date told her he was waiting on his unemployment check, and she still went out with him. And there's women out here like that. And I think if women was more so girls and more so team women and team each other, instead of you looking at women like they're giving you advice, instead of them looking like they're hating on your relationship, his baby mama is not a hater. She's trying to help you. And I think if more women thought like that, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that you said, Kalandra. And I just want to real quick before I get to Proud Black Women say that I think a lot of people have perverted Christianity, have weaponized Christianity in order to make women more susceptible to mistreatment. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like viral, sermons from white tea men where they talk about, women shutting up and women basically let men do whatever they want to do. Of course, we've seen that same type of spiritual gaslighting when it comes to the black community, where, you have these black women that come up there with their pastor husbands, and their pastor husbands have taken them through everything and the women still stayed. But I just wanted to say, fundamentally, those things are not supposed to be occurring. Though that's not what's supposed to be going on, but it's just that people pervert and twist those things for their own ends. Like when people were telling Melody from, Love and Marriage Huntsville, that she should stay with him, after he had cheated on her and had a baby on her. The Bible, which is the one of the cornerstones of Christianity, tells women that they supposed to, that they can leave. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think people just twist these things in order to, once again, just like in everything else and every, thing that people believe in, to twist it to get women to be on the losing end of things. But I definitely still agree with everything that you said. You made major points, and I totally agree with everything that you said. I'll go to Proud Black Woman here, and then we'll go to Alan and then Jagoon. Go ahead, Proud Black Woman.
All right. Yeah, Calandria. Wow. You said it all. You said it all, sis. Like, that was beautifully said. I agree with everything you said. And just to note, it's funny, like, Trigger, when I be in people's lives, I typically go through the comments and I'll click and see, if I'm following this person already, if they following me. And I just thought that was funny. I clicked on that chick and I realized I had her blocked, and I was like, she must have came on my page and said some bullshit, because I don't just block on my page. So when I started seeing her comments, I was like, yeah, this is why I blocked her. So I want to go back to what you were saying, because I agree with you 1000%. And I do have some black women who do get mad at me about this, but I don't believe in absolutes either. Like, I have good black men in my family. The last relationship I was in was an amazing black man. Like, I will never say that there just aren't any good men out here. I can't say that, because I'm still meeting good, decent men. And here's the thing that you have to realize too, is men are not really, like, their goal is not to love as a collective group. Like I said, men are hunters. They typically will do that for the woman who makes them work. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, some men have to grow into being good men. And the way that that's going to happen is when they meet a woman that's not going to put up with their shit. And that's something I think women need to understand as well. So I can never say, you know, oh, there's just no good men out here. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm a straight woman. Triggered, you're married. So that would be a lie. Like, if you said that wouldn't make sense. You married to a good man. I'm pretty sure you feel that way. So when people start talking in absolutes, like there's just no good black men anywhere. Yes, it's going to be harder to find a good black man because we have to undo all this worshiping that we've been doing for centuries. This is why the vast majority of black men are not good men, because they have never been required to be. Now that we are waking up and now that we are changing how we deal with men, there will be more good black men out here, because it's going to get to a point where they're not going to, it's either they learn to be good men or they just going to miss out. Because it's more women who are choosing not to date men, who are choosing to decenter men, who are also choosing to be abstinent like myself. And that's another thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're abstinent, like, I'm single, so obviously I'm abstinent, right? Well, that's the choice that I've chosen. And I just made a year. Because I, you know, like I said, my last relationship, it was hard. It was easy at first because I still loved him. And then as I started dating, I started becoming attracted to men again, and I wanted to date again, but I stayed the course. And when you're abstinent, you can see clear. Like, you can see the bullshit from a mile away. And it's because you're not sleeping with him. So you're not being clouded by, you know, when you're sleeping with men, let's be honest, and you're not married, let's be honest, when you're having sex and you're just having sex with men, you become clouded. It clouds your judgment. You start losing all common sense, just goes out the window, because you so busy worrying about, man, I can't wait to be with him again. And you know what I mean? And you start overlooking certain things. You start overlooking when he said he was going to take you on a date. And but you so happy to be with him, so you just continue sleep with him because you just want any attention that you can get from him. And I have been in that position before many years ago. I'm not perfect. I've made those mistakes. So I've learned in dating, now I don't give myself to these dudes. And what I'm learning is men respect you more. So that's why I say, like, sometimes men have to grow to be better men, and they will for the woman that they feel is worth it. Let's be clear. But it's not impossible. So when I hear women say that it's just no good men out here, I just want to shake them and be like, no, it's good men out here. They're still here. There are still some here, and they come in every race. Because y'all know me, I don't praise no man. Every man gonna get an equal chance over here, depending on how he treats me. They're here. It's just we have to change how we deal with them. So I'm glad that you and I both understand that, because we really do have a lot of women who just, they've given up, and they just don't think that there's any good men left. And I feel bad for them, because whether I get married or not in this life, I'm still going to date. I'm not gonna lie, I still love the energy of a man. I love the energy of men. I love the masculinity. I love having a man open up doors for me, pull out chairs, take me on dates. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I love it. It's fun. So I'm always gonna date, whether I'm married or not. I'm gonna be dating some man. But men have to work over here with me. They want my attention. They want my time. You're going to have to show me. You're not going to get it for free. You don't get to lie to me. When a man says he's going to do something, he is held accountable over here. And I can tell you that men will get their act together if you stand on your ground. You got to stand your ground. So.
All right. I appreciate you, proud black woman. I just wanted to ask Alan one question. Are you from the Caucasus Mountains, Alan?
The hell does that mean?
Oh, okay. It means, are you a snow roach? And it seems that you are. Have a great day. I have no idea why you would have even sat there and hit the request box, sir. I do not listen to nothing that y'all got to say. I don't want to hear your perspective. I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't want to hear what you think about women. Why would I care when you just said, what does that mean? I tell you what it means. It means that I don't want to hear what you got to say, Alan. It means that I could care less what your unseasoned thoughts are. What do I look like talking to a white man about what's going on with black women? Do you think that you're equipped to have this conversation, Alan? Absolutely not, Alan. So take your ass on, Alan. Respectfully. And you made me cuss. I try not to cuss really ever, y'all. But sometimes it slips out, but I try 99% of the time not to curse, Alan. And look what you made me do, Alan. All right. Y'all can go ahead and block out. Oh my goodness. I thought Alan was a brother, okay? And then while Proud Black Woman was speaking, I was like, let me click on this man profile. And I saw that Alan was not a brother. I was like, oh my goodness. Alan, how dare you? How dare you? I'm so upset that me and the ladies here made you feel like you mattered. You might matter out there in the world, but you don't matter here. This is a Black woman space only. Plot. Bye bye. Go ahead, Jago.
I just want to say one last thing. People have romanticized marriage so much that it's almost like people think that, or women believe that everything will be great and gravy and heaven like once they get married. And once they're in a marriage, I think there's a lot of disillusion that comes, and women seem to be looking for this perfect relationship, and that just does not exist. And this is from me, who's been married half my life. I've been five different people in my 35 years of marriage, and it was not easy. It's not easy. It's not. I would have done things differently. I think I would have gotten married later in life instead of being married in my 20s, because as I said, I've been five different people, and it's very difficult to sustain a relationship. And it's not this fairy tale. It's just not a fairy tale. Just because you're in a long-term marriage either don't mean everything is wonderful, you know. Um, so I think people, and more Black women who are in long-term marriages or have been, need to speak more. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tragic situation where somebody is cheating. It's just being able to get along and coexist with somebody, throughout your life. Not the extreme cheating and abuse and things like that. Just every day trying to sustain a relationship isn't easy. And I think that would take some of the so-called romanticism away from people and from people's view of marriage. There's so many other things you can accomplish in your early 20s and 30s. There's so many other experiences you can have. It's not the end all be all. And I just wanted to say that.
All right, all right. I definitely agree, Jagoon. I think that um being me have been me being I have been in a very unhealthy, unhappy marriage and a healthy one. And I really would like women to know that just being married is not the goal. Because if you get with someone and you marry them and they are not a good person, and you link up with them like, you're living with them, so you're yoked with them, you got your finances, you got everything all wrapped up with them. I promise you that it could be the end of you, really. There are women that have made the wrong choices in husbands and are no longer here in the land of the living. And then there are women that have made wrong choices in men and have been mistreated. They have emotional and mental scars. Some women have chosen the wrong man, and their children have been victimized, and a whole host of other things. The most important thing about being, if you want to be with somebody, is making sure that person is an actual decent human being. And I know that that's easier said than done, because there are a plethora of no good men out here of all races. But you've got to look at the person, whether look at the institution of, oh, I just want to be with somebody, oh, I just want to be married. Like, because there are so many women that prioritize being married above everything else so that she can try to look down on another woman, even though she's unhappy and miserable. I think that Janine Just a Girl is a perfect example of that. Like, she's married to a man that looks like, literally, like he was raised with wolves outside in some type of forest, and be biting on, you know what I'm saying, rodents and small animals, and chopping up wood with his teeth. You know what I'm saying? But yet she gets online and makes women feel like, oh, look at me, I got a man, I got a man, I got a man. as her man has, plaque spots all over his teeth and very unattractive, built like I'm saying, a box of cereal, like the giant boxes. Y'all know the giant boxes of like Golden Grams or Frosted Krispies or Frosted, like the big, bad built body box. You know what I'm saying? But she still feels like she's better than the next woman because she has a man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like those type of women, they prioritize marriage and the ring above everything else because they feel like that validates them. And I want any woman that is thinking about getting married or whatever, the marriage does not validate you. It doesn't. Who cares if you marry? You ain't better than the next woman. What matters is you being with a man, even if nobody else knows it but you. You being with a man that loves you, that respects you, that treats you like a queen, that don't have you out there mammying and muling all day, that don't have you out there struggling and hustling to survive. That means something. That still don't make you better than the next woman, but that's what you should be looking for. Not just the opportunity to say, oh, I'm married. Oh, I'm married. Oh, I got a man. Like, no, the things don't work like that. For real, for real. And when you do that, you become delusional. Like I said, y'all see how delusional Jajine Just a Girl is? Like, completely delusional. She always be looking tired and exhausted in all her videos. Bags under her eyes and everything. That little ugly leprechaun man is putting her through it. You know what I'm saying? But for her, I guess it's good enough because she can try to make the next woman feel bad about herself, and that's disgraceful. But anyway, let me go over here to T. T has something to say. Go ahead, T.
My baby's distracted. Maybe I can talk clear now because when he be distracting me, I'll be messing up what I be saying. So one of the things, like you pointed out with Just the Girl, is women like that. They promote unhealthy marriages. They never an example of what the healthy minded man being married to a healthy minded man and having a healthy, happy marriage. They never the representation of that. They the ones who love to promote toxicity. They love to promote struggle love. They love to promote sufferance. And that's the part where a lot of us have to, like a lot of women that listening to her have to decipher what message is this woman talking about? Because just because you got married to a man, that okay, kudos, not even a kudos to you. He probably married you for his benefit. That is probably why. And who knows? You probably the ones who proposed to him, which a lot of times a lot of these women do. Look at Chrissy from Love and Hip Hop. Perfect example. These women are out here getting on one knee, proposing to a man. So with that being said, when I listen to these women really believe that they did something right because because they know how desperate a lot of our sisters are to get married, and they're put on a pedestal as the woman who did something right because she got a man to marry her. That is not true. Just because you got married, that don't mean you did something right than the next woman. She's doing something wrong and you did something right. That's how a lot of these relationship coaches begin in be swindling these women out of their money, be ripping these women off because they think that they have the formula. When a lot of times they don't have a formula, they don't have the formula, they just leading you down the road of destruction. They lead you down a road of straight up misery because you think that you by listening to them you are going to get that ring on your finger, and you might get the ring on your finger, but it's not going to be with the type of husband that's going to make you happy, even though you should be happy by yourself. And that's another thing that's wrong with a lot of our ladies. Stop looking for happiness when you can find happiness in yourself. That's the thing that I also want women to understand. Stop believing that, oh, I want to be happy. That's why I want to get married because I want to be happy. I'm sorry, sister, sound like this. You sound pathetic. You got to go get some counseling, get some therapy, do some self healing, self reflection, and learn how to be alone by yourself and be happy by yourself. There is no way, like what I said before, I cannot stand when I hear women with children saying that they lonely. How are you lonely when you got 5 kids? No, the lonely is the least thing that you are. You got 5 kids that love you, that look at you as if like you a Superman on this planet, as if you're Superwoman. When my baby look at me, he look at me like I can't do no wrong. How can you not feel that type of love? You running around looking for it in a man, And you wonder why, how these men be taking advantage of these women and be targeting their children and hurting their children. That is unacceptable. I'm sorry, and that's why I keep stressing to women. No, I don't. I understand that a lot of women do want to get married, but like I said, those women are. I'm sorry to say, uh, um, unhealthy minded. You could say I would like to get married one day if it comes to me. If the good, like, if it comes, it comes. The universe allows me to get married, I will get married. But going out searching, that's when you are going to find the worst type of man. Because you out here searching, and these predators, these men can smell the desperation on you. They can smell that you want them so badly. You want to get married so badly that they like, okay, I'm about to get everything I want from this woman and put her through the ringer because she wants a relationship. And I could tell by looking at her, she'll do whatever I say. And that is why men look at single mothers as low hanging fruit. And that's exactly their mindset is. When anytime you hear a man that say, oh yeah, get with these single mothers, using for recreational uses, because they look at you as low hanging fruit, because they believe that you're desperate for a relationship. And I cannot stand when I see our sisters desperate for a relationship. We got a lot of work and a lot of self healing to do. One of the things that is funny that the first older man I dated, I was 23, he was 38. And it's funny, I was in love with my little high school boyfriend from high school when I was dating him when I was 18 years old. And by the time I became, like, working in a attorney's office and everything, and I still believed that there was hopes for love and stuff like that. And one day we're gonna get married. And this older man came in. Well, not only were his finances together, he also had a particular type of mindset. He was the one that told me that, yeah, I see your little boyfriend. The reason why your boyfriend is the way he is because you made things too easy for him. And I didn't, of course, as a young lady, I didn't understand. Like, what do you mean I made things easy for him? You made things too easy for him. You made him so comfortable that he felt like he didn't have to do anything. And that's the problem. And he gave me a soundproof advice as a young lady, dating this older man. He said, if a man don't work hard for you because he feel like you're not worth nothing. Men that work hard for something value it more. Look at these men, how they feel about their little paycheck. No, I don't want these women that want my money because they feel like, because I had to get off my lazy ass and get out and earn it, they're gonna hold it to their heart and they don't want to share it. Men are very, very selfish when it comes to things that they have because they feel like they worked hard for it. And if you are not the woman that they have worked hard for, you're literally not valuable to them. And that's the problem. Don't be listening to these married women saying, "Oh, you know what? You got to give these men a chance. You got to, like, lower yourself. Like, you got to demeanor yourself. Like, you got to make things easy for a man." No healthy minded man wants something easy. I'm sorry. And I'm going to say it just as blunt like that. If you are too easy to be obtained, he will not respect you. And love don't mean nothing without respect. If you're with a man, you married to a man, even though he'll say all day he love you from the earth, from the moon, and the stars, but he does not respect you, it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. And that's the thing that I want women to really understand. You should have love, respect, and you should also have fear from your man, because the number one thing he should be afraid of is losing you. He should be afraid to lose you. He should be afraid of disappointing you. He should be afraid of hurting you because he knows you're a woman that will walk out the door without a blink of an eye. And that's how a man should be towards you. Don't so when I'm listening, like, I'm listening to my sisters up here, everybody's on point 110%. And I really want to change with our sisters, and I don't want them to feel like, it's this thing that I keep hearing on TikTok, like, like, oh, like they hate masculinity, they hate masculinity. No, healthy masculinity. If you want a man that's masculine, you have to understand what is healthy, what is a man that exhibits healthy masculinity and a man that exhibits toxic masculinity. That is what you have to. That's what you have to have to learn. And I do think a lot of women do have to be reprogrammed and be taught about taught a lot of things. It is because like it is sad to hear that a woman never came across a decent man, even though we all know that that is very very rare, very very little amount of men like that. But for a woman to say like all her life she never came across a decent man or a man never treated her good is the reason why a lot of our sisters are walking around here, and I hate to say the word bitter, but they are bitter towards men because every man that came in her life have done nothing but harm her. You know, and that's another thing. You have to change your scenery. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop looking at these low budget level men as a representation of men. Because a lot of them are, because they're not. And like I said, that they EDPs, mentally ill. You know, I'm just saying that. I'll land because I see my time is up.
All right, all right, all right. I definitely agree with what T was saying. I just want you guys to know, it's approaching 2 hours. So normally around 2 hours, I go ahead and cut it off. So I'm gonna let everybody speak again before I get out of here. I might come back a little later. I'm not for sure though, you guys. But I'm gonna go up here first to Blackberry, then Special K, then Kalandra, and we'll let Proud Black Woman end it out. Go ahead, Blackberry. Oh, and I definitely agree with everything that T said. Excuse me. I had something in my throat. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, T, everything that T said was definitely on point, and I totally agree with her. Go ahead, Blackberry.
I just wanted to say that it makes it it did me good to hear proud black women talk about being abstinence because reality is I don't want to be abstinent, but it's almost like abstinence is choosing me because I'm making better choices. I, I it's been about a month now, and I don't want to go any longer than that. And I'm gonna be transparent with y'all and tell y'all that I was with somebody on Friday, and we was finna do our thing, and because I asked him to use a condom, he got mad and he left me in there by myself. That's why I said it's almost like abstinence shows me because I really don't know what relationship looks like for me anymore because I understand that I am damaged from everything that I've been through and that, I haven't ran across a man that doesn't cheat. So I don't want to be stuck in something where that's what they do. So I don't know what that looks like for me. I would still like to get married, but I don't the benefits of it for a woman versus all the benefits that a man gets, I don't know that that's going to come my way. So all a man has for me at this point is that mouth and that meat. And I don't want to be abstinence, but the way they even behaving now, abstinence is choosing me because I'm choosing to do better for myself and requesting to do better for myself and setting boundaries. And regardless of what I want, that I want to not be abstinence, I will still continue to choose me and be better and to heal myself from all the pain that I've encountered.
Blackberry. I want to say something to you. I would say this is no judgment or anything like that, but I really do believe that what happened with you and that situation was definitely a protection for sure. Any
I
man not
agree.
willing to use protection is a red flag. He
I
probably
agree.
got Lord knows what and is ready and willing to give it to you. But I would say that I think that if you are going to be in a position to where you are going to engage with men, on a sexual level, I believe that you should automatically, before you even let them touch you, you should go to, like, a clinic or a doctor's office, and both of y'all get tested and get y'all results together at that time, and not rely on what he say, like, oh no, I'm clean, or even if he gives you some like rusty paper and says, oh, see what it says here, because men have been known to falsify results. I really do believe that you should actually go to a clinic and y'all should get tested together before you even consider engaging with them on an intimate level, because there are things, of course, you're a grown woman, it's things that you can get that even if you use a condom that you can still get HPV, you can still get herpes, you can still get a lot of different infections and things that you can't get rid of permanently even if a condom is used. And I will say this is that also one more thing is that I understand, that that intimacy with a partner is different than like intimacy on your own, if y'all get what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to police your vagina. Trust me, I want you to know I only say this out of love. I'm not trying to police your vagina. You can do whatever you like to do with it, of course. But I would say that something that I feel like would be a benefit to you is that if you would really, look into like true abstinence, look into ways that you can do that, even look into like getting a rose, doggone it off of Amazon, because giving these men your body and allowing them is a pleasure and a privilege. And I understand that they may scratch a need that you may have, but they will go away with far more energetic energy than you will be receiving from them, because men are takers by nature. When they have intercourse with you, they're taking, whether you realize that or not. Even if you are able to achieve a climax from it, they are draining and taking from you. And the only way that that situation is not occurring is if you're in a situation where y'all are like, locked in. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to know that it's best to abstain when you're not in a situation of like a partnership or whatever. In my opinion, I think women should abstain until they get married, but I know not everybody's going to do that. But definitely, if you're just around dating around, you just like somebody said in the comment, men are energy vampires. Men are incubuses. Your womb is energetic. It's powerful. It powers you and what goes on inside of you, and you don't want to take on anybody else's energy and experience that they have attached to them. What? Because even if they have a condom on or not, you're still taking on that energy. And just for you to scratch an itch, I feel like when women use words like that, I understand that more than likely, you heard men say it, but men are animalistic. You never want to be exhibiting the same characteristics as men, because, this may be controversial, but I do believe women are superior to men and we are different. And anytime you're doing anything that is remotely in the behavior, in the pattern of behavior that men do, you already know that that's not going to be the best look as possible. But once again, I just say this out of love. You can take it or leave it. You can tell me F me, but I really am just saying it out of love, sis. Really, honestly, because
No,
I think that you're a beautiful woman and you don't deserve to be engaging. These men don't deserve you. They don't.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with anything that you said. You're 100% correct. I understand that they're energy vampires, and I understand that I am the same in that sense. The energy of a man, I do love it. And that's also why I said that abstinence is choosing me. I don't want to be abstinent, but the way things have been going and the way men have been behaving, it's beneath me now, because I'm exhibiting growth. And I can't stop growing. And that's the thing about it. It drives me so nuts that men consistently ask women for accountability. And then the minute we start holding ourselves accountable, I know how to do it. So now I'm expecting you to do it too, because I know what accountability looks like. So when you start trying to feed me those same lies, and I'm asking you to be just as accountable as I can be and transparent as I can be, and you can't give me that in response, it's over. It's over and it's done with. And once you start growing, the person that you're speaking with has to grow too. And if not, you get left behind. And that's what it is. I'm leaving things behind, even though that's not something that I want to leave behind. So, no, I don't take anything that you said in a negative sense at all. And I respect that. You're giving me solid advice. And that's what I know Black women to do. Y'all are some powerful creatures. And the fact that we are all growing is a powerful thing. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of us. So that's it.
All right, all right. I appreciate you so much, Blackberry, and I appreciate you listening to me. I think a proud Black woman, she wanted to add to something. Go ahead, sis, and then I'll go to Special K. I'll let Special K close it out. Go ahead, proud Black woman.
Okay. Yeah. Trigger, that was beautiful how you said that. And um is it Black Beauty? I just want to hug you. I do, because I feel so bad when I hear Black women speak like that. And I just mean in a sense where there's a lot of women who they feel like they have to have it. I'm not saying that you're that woman. I'm just saying I do get in conversations with Black women on here, and they do talk about how they just they get that itch and they need it. And I honestly can't relate because I've never been a sexual person like that. I've gone longer without having sex, and I don't have to have sex with a man. I know how to be with a man without having sex with him. So, but I understand that we still have women that don't know how to do that. And so I try to be understanding to that. But I do want to also say, respectfully, right, is there is a price to pay when we are out here doing that and we are not married. And I believe wholeheartedly, and even when listening to Tony Gaskins, he said it. Look, we are not supposed to be out here just having sex. We're not. And that's the price that a lot of our Black women are paying for that. This is why the HIV rate has absolutely skyrocketed. This is why Black women are being left to raise children by yourself, because you'll meet a guy at Walmart or you'll meet a guy at the club and you start sleeping with him within 2 weeks of knowing him and you don't even know this man. We have got to understand that the wages of sin is death. It is. It is, sis. So at some point, we have to take that off the list. You understand me? Like, men, we cannot continue in 2025 the way that the world is now and all the things that we have to worry about as women. We cannot just be out here willy-nilly giving our body to a man because we feel like we need that. I challenge you to look within and find out what is it that makes you feel that way. And I'm not saying, and I want to say this too, and I'm not saying that this happened to you, and I would like for you to respond after I'm done too. But what I have found too with a lot of women that I've talked to personally that feel like they need that, a lot of those women were touched when they were younger and they never really quite worked that out. Like, it's kind of like they feel that's a way of love for them, being able to, to just sleep with a man. It just reminds them when they were younger, because that's what they were told when they were younger, even though they were being touched inappropriately. Does that make sense? So they still carry that. And that's why it's so important for Black women to get therapy so that you can resolve that, because feeling like you have to have sex with a man, I just, it's a dangerous time, y'all, to be having those thoughts. Even married women right now are having issues worrying about if their husband is cheating. And there's a couple married women that came on my page talking about how their husband brought them something back because they were cheating. It is a scary time, y'all, to be just willy-nilly out here having sex, and you have to really go within and ask yourself, why do you feel like you have to have that? Because I can promise you, baby girl, you don't. You're going to be so much better, so much clearer. Life is going to be so much healthier without it. I mean, I don't want my sisters catching diseases that you don't even, we have enough to worry about. These men are not honest. Me, I have always, even with my last relationship, like I said, I've been abstinent for a year now. With my last relationship, baby, we went to the clinic. We went to the doctor. I'm sorry. Well, he was in the military, so they get checked, like every 3 months anyway. But we went and got tested together. We drew blood together. I was not playing with him, and he had no problem with that. He was ready to go. And that's what I say. When a man really sees value in you, and he know that he's not going to be able to hit that without doing the proper steps, like, you need to get tested. I don't sleep with no man unless I know what is floating around in his body. No man will touch me. I don't care how fine you are. I need to know what diseases you got, sir. So most men will go. they will go. If they know they can't get none other way, they will go. That is a rule of thumb for me. I don't play that over here, because I am a woman in my 40s. I'm not trying to live out the rest of my life fighting HIV and herpes. It's so much other stuff you're going to have to deal with when you get older. I don't want that to be STDs. So I just challenge you to just look within and just figure out where that need comes from. Because I can promise you, baby, you are going to be so much better. Just try it, challenge yourself. Because I can tell you, that man, him not wanting to use a condom, that's the red flag for you. That's all the red flag you need. You understand? So I
I do.
just challenge you that, baby.
I do. And I will be honest and I'll be transparent and say it is probably exactly that. I was FA'd at a young age, and even after everything, I know you want to end alive, but
No,
it,
go
it,
ahead. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
it was exactly that. It was my sister's father. We don't share the same father. And after he got out of jail, him and my mom, they got back together. My father died at a young age when I was 7. So she lost herself after my dad passed because he was a great man. He did everything. He paid the bills. He cooked. Any money that she made was her own money. So when he passed, uh, we were the whole world tilted. And so she is a male centered woman. So she was seeking love in any kind of way. I got to see it for myself. So when she got back with my sister's father, he would come in my room at night, and a lot of times I would be asleep. I wouldn't even know what was going on. He'd just be in my room, or I feel that pressure on me. Fight him in my sleep. And eventually, he came to me and he said that, "Look, I want to tell you something. I've been coming in your room and doing things to you that I shouldn't have been doing, and I found a lump in your breast. You need to either tell your mom or I'll tell her." So I didn't know how to go tell my mom, "Hey, your man's been, he's been in my room doing stuff to me." What does that even mean? So he ended up having to tell her. We sat at the kitchen table and he told her about what he was doing to me, just, touching me and coming in my room in the middle of the night. And I thought that would be it. That would be over with. But no, no, he got to stay. So it makes you question yourself. I question myself, and to be honest, it was a secret for me, just me by myself for a really long time, until I just ended up not being able to hold that anymore. When I started to change and when I started to heal, I couldn't stay with that secret. So there may definitely be a connection there. I feel freer afterwards. I get better rest. I sleep better. I don't know what that is. But in dealing with my relationships, I would talk to God. I would start, having a relationship with God, because one day I was worried about a relationship. And it's like God came to me and said, "How are you worried about a relationship when you're not even worried about your relationship like that with me?" And that started to change me from the inside. And now it's like the growth, I can't stop it. That burn when you start seeking the relationship with God, because He's the only man that's ever come to rescue me. He's the only one that I've been able to call on like that, cry to, and someone that will solve problems for me. So that's why I started to only look at men as, "Oh, that's all you can do for me is give me what I want." And that's it. Because I'm too damaged to have a real relationship. I can't trust you. You don't trust me, type of thing. So that's all I need you for. Because I make my own money. I got my own house. My kids are good. What else can you do for me besides that? So yeah, they may be related. I don't
Wow.
reject anything that you said, Proud Black.
Wow. I could just hug you right now. I was just going off of, like I said, it's something that I've noticed just in having conversations with other black women. I never went through that. I was never molested or touched as a child, so I don't have any understanding of that. But I notice, and even statistics show that women who have been, a lot of times, because they thought that was love growing up, that's what they continue to look for in their adulthood, and
Uh,
it's just so sad to me.
I just wanted to say, Blackberry, I am truly sorry that that has been your experience and that happened to you.
Mhm.
And I just want you to know that we all see you and we all hear you and we all, sympathize with what has occurred. And what's unfortunate is that what has happened to you is something that has happened to so many, you know what I'm saying, young black women and young black girls. And you know, I it's something that I feel like isn't even talked about as much because things that happen to black girls and black women is oftentimes overlooked and nobody really cares to hear about it. Nobody even really cares to hear about why some decisions that we make Like this is what I mean when like when there's like a young black man, right? He turns to crime or he turns to selling, illegal substances or whatever. He's just totally just wilding out. People always try to find out the causation for it. Oh, it's because his dad wasn't there. Oh, it's because of people doing this, that, and the third. But when black women have certain type of behaviors or patterns or things that occur, no one ever decides to really sit there and think and try to figure out why these actions are being, taken, that it could be rooted in trauma. So I'm really glad that that proud black woman, brought that up, and you were able to, because if you can realize what possibly could be the causation, then you may be able to come up with a solution in a way to fix it, or kind of like be more aware of it, so that you may not engage in that particular behavior. But I just want to say that I am so sorry that that happened. I'm so sorry that your mother failed you, because that was definitely a failure on her part. I'm so sorry that that man, that he's not even a man, he's a disgusting piece of filth, that he preyed on you. And I want to just send you a virtual hug and virtual love, really, honestly and truly. And I almost feel like this isn't even, I can't even really get across how much I want to say what you said really affected me emotionally, because I really do understand where you're coming from, and I really could feel your emotion in how deeply that affected you. And I'm just so sorry. You may not want my sorry, but I'll just say I what you said, it deeply resonated in my soul. And I want to say I'm just sending you nothing but love, light, and healing, and positivity for
And
real.
I got it. I appreciate y'all so much.
All right, all right, all
Appreciate the
right.
conversations that we're the conversation that we're having.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if before I get out of here, because we said a lot of heavy stuff. If you had anything to say, T, you there, T?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My hands was busy. I was listening on my Bluetooth. First of all, Blackberry, you're a very brave, incredible woman to come forward with your story, and it's like someone said earlier. I think it was you. How how women do need to speak up more about a lot of, not necessarily your experience, but basically just just talking and then just being open about how you set yourself, like you experience certain things in life, and that's what shaped you, and that's what led you to make certain decisions, which is very honorable, and you acknowledge it, and you want to be better, and that's exactly how I would like black women to be. Like we can acknowledge the hurt, we can acknowledge the pain, we can acknowledge certain things that have happened to us, but don't let that stop you from living. Don't let that stop you from being happy. Seek as much help as you can. Um, like like I said, seek as much help as you can, and try to better yourself, and make clearer decisions. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm just really distracted right here, and if I'm not saying things right and stuttering, it's because, like I said, I'm not really good at multitasking sometimes. So, yeah. With that being said, Black Bear, I just want to say, just thank you for sharing your experience, um, and I agree with you when you said, like, listen, what else would I need a man for? Because you already got your life. Your life is already fulfilled to the point you feel like you don't having a man is not a necessity for your happiness. I agree with that. That's kind of like how I want. Like I said, I want black women to be. I want black women to be like, I don't. A man is not a necessity in my life to be happy. If I'm gonna have you in my space, it's for a particular reason. And yes, I agree with that. And it eliminates desperation. I can't even say the word. Uh, what is it? I said eliminate.
Yeah, eliminate.
Eliminates the bad apples. Like okay, if you're not like this, you're not like this, and your tolerance is very, very low, and which is very, very excellent. My tolerance is very low when it came to men before I even got married and everything. And just like proud black woman, see, all the time. And just like proud black woman, I didn't have that much bad experiences with men generally. I just know what I will not tolerate and what I will tolerate because one of the things that I want hold on, give me a second. All right. Here. All right, never mind. Anywho, one of the things, ladies, is please just. There's nothing wrong with leaving like this. You can love a man. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself more. You can love a man, but it's nothing wrong with loving yourself more. And I'll just say that to every woman. And even though I feel like my husband is a great man, he's a decent man, he is a wonderful man. And if me and him was to divorce or if something happens to him, I would not remarry because I feel like he is a gem. So I have no problem being single again. I have no problem with that. And even although he is a wonderful man, I love myself more still. So that's all I'm gonna say for now.
All right. I appreciate you guys. I think that this live is ending, on a powerful note. I really appreciate Blackberry for, expressing herself and also telling her story because, you never know who's listening. I also upload these lives to YouTube. So you never know who, most of the time they get at least like 2, 3, 4,000 views, on the live stream. So, like you could really touch somebody and really help somebody else like with your story. So I just wanted to say Alea, I blocked you because I thought what you were saying was weird. I didn't know that you knew her. I appreciate like I said, you telling your story and everything like that, Blackberry. And hopefully I think this might be my first time speaking with you on a live. So I really hope that like I'll be able to speak and interact with you further. I think that you give off a very good sincere vibe, and hopefully I can get a chance to have the opportunity to speak with you again. Hey, Coach T. Um, yeah. So anyway, I feel a little awkward because I don't know exactly how to end, end the live on such a super serious and just super powerful, exchange or interchange, however you want to say it. But I just want to say I just appreciate all of the ladies that came up here today. Special K, T Scorpio, Kalandra, Miss Blackberry, Miss Proud Black Woman, Miss Jagoon. I think that may be everybody. If I forget somebody, I'm sorry. But I just appreciate everybody that came up. And y'all have a great Sunday. Hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. And I may come back later. I'm not for sure. But I definitely will. If I don't come back today, I'll come back tomorrow. Because I'm getting my hair braided Tuesday. So I know I won't be able to be on there Tuesday. But definitely I'll try to come back tomorrow. Oh, and I'm sorry you missed it too, Coach Steve. But I'll be back either later on today or tomorrow. All right, once again, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all ladies so much. And I'm sending y'all nothing but love, light, healing, and positivity. All right. All right. I'll see y'all. Bye.